And Louisiana's new COVID-19 emergency rental assistance program has been temporarily suspended due to an overwhelming response. And that program just launched on Thursday. Megan Key is live from the French Quarter with what you need to know. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Leslie. After just 4 days of accepting applications, the Louisiana governor's office announced yesterday that the new COVID-19 emergency rental assistance program is temporarily suspended. Now, this program launched on Thursday, and since then, the governor's office reports more than 40,000 renters applied for temporary rental assistance. Officials cite an overwhelming response as the reason the application process is at a standstill. As for those who already applied within that 4-day window, the Louisiana Housing Corporation will continue to follow up with those people who submitted an application and process applications. In total, the program is providing $24 million in financial assistance to Louisianians. Only $7 million in funding is available now. An additional $17 million will come from federal funding. Now, the program will reopen when those funds become available. Now, although the application process is suspended, you can still sign up to receive notifications as to when it will reopen. Now, to do that and for more information, all you have to do is go to larenthealth.com. Reporting live in the French Quarter, Megan Key, Eyewitness News.